Welcome to Madison City Channel's Know Your Candidates interviews, co-sponsored by the League of Women Voters of Dane County. I'm your interviewer, Gail Bliss, and I would like to introduce Aria Trucios, running for Dane County Board of Supervisors, District 9. As we begin, please give an opening statement about the educational, vocational, and civic experience you have, which prepares you for this office, and why you are running for the Dane County Board.
Yeah, so my name is Aria Trucios. I am running because my father came to this country in search of a better life. He moved here from Peru. I was able to gain access to the mental health care resources that I needed when I was struggling for many years with severe mental illness. I have since recovered. I know many people who still struggle with these same things and cannot gain access to healthcare resources. I am running specifically to preserve access to the life-saving care and the other human services that people need within this district and across Dane County. I'm a former member of the Middleton Parks Commission. I was appointed by Mayor Emily Kuhn in 2024. I served on that committee for over a year, and I quite enjoyed my time. My background is as an engineer. I worked in construction, and I'm currently employed as a power plant operator, but my experience as a construction gave me great perspective on the new build, maintenance, and remodel projects that came across our desk and our votes. And I felt I was able to give a lot of perspective and opinion that really added extra value to the board's decision-making and consideration. I have been involved in local politics as an advocate for my community for several years, and I hope to bring that experience to the people of Dane County.
How should the county address the significant budget deficit expected for the 2027 budget?
Mm-hmm. That is something that I hear at the doors all the time about the budget. It's one of the biggest concerns that I have, is ensuring that funds remain available for people in need while also streamlining in every way possible. I want to seek out and find and identify duplicate and overlapping expenditures, try to find every possible way to save the budget in the near term, to bring it in line with where our financial resources are at, and shore up the resources that people need in the near term, make sure that they're available to the people who need them currently to get us through the budget term, and work longer term to build out the projects that people deserve. So I'm hoping to resolve the budget in the near term, cut everywhere possible, preserve the services that people really need, but I think that Dane County has the expertise. I think that there are people on the board who want to bring the budget in line with what's available, and I hope to work with other board members to achieve this goal.
What specific ideas do you have to increase the supply and quality of affordable housing and to preserve existing affordable housing?
Housing is really difficult. There's a lot of factors that come into play when it comes to housing. Currently, my understanding is the county mostly subsidizes funds for new developments in order to help ensure that many of those developments are at an affordable price point. I have concerns about the proximity of those builds to the center of Madison. I am concerned that when you have new development further outside of Madison that's that's designed for low-income housing or low-cost housing, the proximity, if you don't have proximity to transit, the cost of a vehicle and transportation alone can make those costs inaccessible for many people. So I've met with several people on the county board, and one of the ideas that stands out to me is to work towards building a land bank so that the county can acquire land that is going up for sale, it's underdeveloped or undeveloped, especially close to Madison or with access to public transit resources, and then develop that land ourselves so that we as the county have control over the price and the conditions that people have there. I don't think that's possible in the immediate 2-year term because of the budget, but as a very young person, I hope to think long-term towards working towards those solutions over the coming years while shoring up the budget in the near term.
What more, if anything, do you think the county needs to do to address the needs of our neighbors experiencing homelessness?
I think that the first place this needs to start at is ensuring that the shelter systems that are available remain available, that we look to expand access to shelter wherever possible, but also we have to address the problem upstream. We need to address the fact that many people are in precarious circumstances due to cost of living, which is getting worse and worse year after year. I want to work in every way possible to lower the cost of housing and ensure that people have access to the housing they currently have to prevent the homelessness issue from getting worse. The services that are being provided are essential and people desperately need them. And I hope to preserve those services to keep people from freezing to death in the cold while ensuring the funds are available longer term.
When faced with making difficult, controversial decisions, how will you ensure that you are getting input from residents with a broad range of perspectives?
That's one of the biggest things I have in my mind when I go to the doors. I, of course, introduce myself and my background and my personal experience, but I'm always curious looking for people's perspectives and opinions. I hope to work with community groups and meet with people who have differing opinions than myself in the coming years to ensure that their voices are heard and considered. For when I meet with other board of supervisors members, I can relay perspectives that might not even be my own, but that represent the perspectives within my district. One of the reasons I feel the need as a young person to get involved in politics and run for this office is I am tired of seeing politicians run to rule instead of running to lead. By listening to the constituency, I hope to lead and listen, first and foremost.
Please describe any other priorities for your term in office. If these include new or expanded programs, how do you propose to fund them?
I hope to be on the environmental committee. I want to preserve and expand the longer term, but in the near term, preserve access to the resources that the beauty that's in our backyard that Dane County residents appreciate today to ensure that they're around for generations to come. As a power plant operator, I have experience with aspects of the impacts of pollution in our lakes that most people don't have or know about. The plants that I have worked in, and I know many others have the same issue where they bring in fresh lake water for boiler making, for processing through a boiler to create water for that. They have to treat the water, but especially because of the nitrogen pollution, there are an overgrowth of algae and of mussels that have destroyed equipment that the companies in the city has to spend millions of dollars to process out and treat. That's a financial cost to an environmental harm that's unsightly, but that people don't think about. And for many people, the financial incentive is far greater than the environmental. I hope to advocate for the preservation of wildlife, and the resources and the environments that they rely on. As an avid bird watcher, I hope to keep Dane County green long into the future.
What would you like to say to the viewing audience as we complete this interview?
I hope to earn your vote. I am very appreciative of the opportunity to run, and I hope to better your lives and your neighbors' lives so that we all have the Dane County that we know and love.
I want to thank Aria Trucios for speaking with us and thank the viewing audience for taking time to know your candidates. I want to remind everyone that the primary election is Tuesday, February 17th, and the general election is Tuesday, April 7th. Every election is important. Please vote. On behalf of Madison City Channel and the League of Women Voters of Dane County, I thank you for joining us.